Hello, divine creations, divine marvels, children of God. Thanks so much for dropping by. I was going to title this video the lie that the Muji movement is based on, but what I realized is it's based on many, many lies. So I decided to title it one of the main lies that the Muji movement is based on. And that's the lie that Neo-Advaita in general is based on, which is everyone should do self-inquiry. So that's Muji's teaching. Inquire, self-inquiry, practice I am meditation, which is a fancy way of doing self-inquiry. That's the path for everyone. That's what Muji teaches. Here's what Ramana teaches. Yoga is common to all paths. Yoga is really nothing but ceasing to think that you are different from the self or reality. All the yogas, karma, jhana, which is self-inquiry, karma, action, jhana, self-inquiry, bhakti, devotion, and raja, very complicated form of yoga, are just different paths to suit different natures with different modes of evolution. So, that's the difference between a guru and a joker like Muji. A guru figures out either intuitively or through conversation where the student is at and prescribes to them the proper path to help them take the next step forward. As I've talked about, this is based on the three modes of mind or the three gunas. To figure out the quality of the person's mind, and then different paths are better suited to different peoples, just as the Maharshi said right here. I'll read it again. Different paths to suit different natures with different modes of evolution. They are all aimed at getting people out of the long-cherished notion that they are different from the self. So they all lead to the same place, but it's finding the right practice for the right student at the right time. And that's how you can spot a fake teacher, is they prescribe one practice for everybody. A fake guru. It's one thing to be a meditation teacher and teach one particular style of meditation. But it's a different thing to be a guru, to claim to be this enlightened being and that you're going to lead everyone else to enlightenment through one path. Completely contradicts the fundamental ideas of Vedanta. This is even older than Advaita Vedanta. Remember, Advaita is just has only been around for, I think, 1,100 years, whereas Vedanta has been around for thousands of years, 3,000 or 4,000 years. So yeah. So thanks so much. Someone wrote, I'm curious about your thoughts on Eckhart Tolle. I haven't really looked into him very deeply. I don't know. I mean, I don't think of him, I really don't think of him. He doesn't really fit into, traditional Advaita Vedanta or Vedanta. He certainly talks about similar things. So I don't know that I really go into in-depth in him on this channel. One thing I love about him that he says, though, is, he addresses, in a very skillful way, he addresses one of the deepest spiritual questions of all time. So if you're in the East, the question is, why did Maya, illusion, or if you're Buddhist, ignorance or delusion arise? And if you're in the Western world, the Jewish, Christian, or Islamic worldview, the question is, why did the fall from the Garden of Eden happen? Why was evil? Why did God allow evil to exist? And or in the West, in the East, the question is, why did the Supreme, if you're Hindu, why did Parabrahman allow Maya to happen? Or if you're Buddhist, how could pure, pristine Buddha nature allow ignorance and attachment to arise? And Eckhart Tolle addresses this through the parable of the prodigal son, which is a parable from the Bible that it's written that Jesus taught. Which, in essence, there were, a wealthy father had two sons, and one son asked for his inheritance and left the family and went out and squandered the inheritance and just ended up in um, really bad circumstances. And then comes home and is welcomed back by the father. And the one son is like, "Well, Dad, that's..." And the father like throws a feast. And the son is like, the son who stayed home was like, "Dad, that's not fair." And the father was like, "Yeah, but I lost a son and I got him back." And Eckhart Tolle, in essence, says that there's something so sweet about this overcoming, or in something lost and then us coming back to it. So I love that about him. Other than that, I haven't looked into him too much. Thanks so much. Much love.